Real estate investing 101. You want to know where you want to buy, what kind of property you want to get. There's all these questions. So here's the breakdown of what you should look for when you're investing in real estate. So when you're investing in real estate, you want to take a top-down approach. What I mean by this is that you want to look at the city, the area, the property, the deal, and then the type of tenants. When you're looking into investing into a city, you want to look at the fundamentals. Here's a few questions you want to ask. Is there an increase in population in the last 5 years? What is the unemployment trend in the last 5 years? Are there any new development projects coming up in the city? Are there any new development plans for the city? Area. Every city has good and bad parts of the city. So what areas should you invest in? This is probably the biggest decision you're going to have to make. For me, I want a safe, clean, developed area in the city because I want to attract the best type and best quality of tenants that I can find. After all, these tenants are going to be taking care of your investment for an extended period of time. Couple questions you want to ask is, what kind of tenants is this area going to attract? How does this area compare to others? One thing I like to do is just go on YouTube and search for the city I'm looking for and the area and see if anyone's giving a neighborhood tour. Property. Now you've narrowed down the city you are looking at and the area. Now you got to look at the type of property you want to get. Because if you choose a lemon, that's probably more than you bargained for. Make sure all the boxes are checked. You can ask some of these questions. What is the walk score and transit score for this property? What's the property valuation? Is there a lot of work required in terms of renovations or repairs to get this house ready for the market? You should probably do a home inspection before you take on the house just to know what you're getting yourself into. And ultimately, you want to ask, is this property going to attract quality tenants? Properties with strong walk scores and transit scores is always going to attract better quality tenants. You can check the property walk score here. Now, the deal. Emotions are going to happen in real estate. But when you're investing, you got to make sure you keep those emotions in check. Too many times people fall in love with the property and they forget that this is actually an investment. So what this means is you gotta run the numbers. The numbers have to make sense. Have you run the numbers on this property in terms of cash flow, income, expenses? Is this property going to make you money at the end of the day? Have you confirmed the appraisal of the property? Is this value going to hold up? Again, did the inspection come back clean, or is there a lot of repairs and work required to make sure the house is livable for tenants? Ultimately, did you get your lawyer to review the contract to make sure that the legal side of things have been taken care of? And finally, tenants. Buying property is only 30% of being a successful real estate investor. The other 70% of it is after the purchase. What do you do with it after you own it? Of that 70%, 68% of it is actually finding the right tenants. Having bad tenants, and I'm sure you've all heard of nightmare stories of nightmare tenants. You don't want to be that guy. You want to ask yourself, do you have a proper process in finding the right tenants? Are you attracting the right tenants? And are you looking for the right type of tenants? Are you doing your due diligence on finding the right tenants? So there you have it. There's a bunch of questions for you to get started to help you think through the process of becoming a real estate investor. Yes, there's a lot to consider, and yes, there's a lot of responsibility that come with it, but so does the joy. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Let us know what you think you should be asking as well in terms of becoming a real estate investor. And until then, we'll see you next Wednesday.